Well, it's that time again to start looking at 2011. What new toys are we going to get then? Well, I don't really know. I don't keep up with new toys too much. But this video is going to take a look at what might come for Wave 3 of the retro line from Kenner. The retro Star Wars line, that is. Now, about this time last year, I did a rumor video about the upcoming Empire Strikes Back figures, retro figures, and some of them did come true, some of them didn't. In that video, I did say there would be an Empire Strikes Back only line, and there was, and most of the figures I named came up, some didn't. And the same source that gave me the information then is back again with an update for Wave 3. But I was stressed that I have no official information that he works for Hasbro, although he was right about some things with Empire Strikes Back and did tell me then that it was all in the planning stages and nothing was official yet. And I have verified that at least this guy that I talked to has a LinkedIn page that was made long before he talked to me that says he worked for Hasbro. But I want to stress again, I know I've turned it into Doomcock or Mike Zero, I guess. But I want to stress again that these are all rumors right now. So don't take it as, ooh, this is official. But I feel confident that this is at least something on the drawing board or at least being discussed at Kenner at this time. First, we'll start with the bad news. Walmart and even Hasbro wasn't happy with Wave 2, the Empire Strikes Back line. The figures were hard to find, and when they did hit Walmart and a lot of stores, they went straight on clearance about the time they hit the store to $5 a piece. Other than the Boba Fett figure and maybe Yoda, the figures at some locations were easy to find, just hanging on the peg. But that's nothing new when it comes to Star Wars and Hasbro. But Hasbro didn't see the sales they hoped for, at least compared with Wave 1 that was a Target exclusive. And those were even harder to find. But Hasbro is blaming the Cornelius virus on that. COVID-19. At least some of the reason. Which you can kind of understand. This line hit about the same time the virus was sweeping across the world, and stores were having a hard time getting productions, not just toys, to the store. And a lot of people just didn't want to go to walking around Walmart hoping to find figures. But this might sour Walmart for being the exclusive retailer for Wave 3. Nothing again has been made official yet, and they're still in talks. Right now, it's a strong indication that Wave 3 will be online retailers only. Or maybe an exclusive line for Hasbro Lab, which you have to buy all the figures in one complete set. And it's also being thrown out there that this will be exclusive on Amazon only, or Entertainment Earth, or some other online retailer. As for the virus, it does seem that it has shut down Hasbro, where a lot of people are working at home. But one good thing that may save Wave 3 is these figures are easier and cheaper to produce, while the molds for most of them have already been made years ago. So it doesn't take as much work, although it does still take a lot of work. It doesn't take as much work as a whole new figure. Here you've got a mold of the figure already made. You basically know the card design already, so a lot of the work for the retro figures are already cut down. But you're not here to talk about that. You want to see what's planned for Wave 3. And believe it or not, there's 2 Wave 3s in the talks. One will be an all Return of the Jedi wave, making up 6 figures plus 1 exclusive. Or another thing they're thinking about is for Wave 3 is a mixture, where they would take 6 figures all from a Star Wars movie, the original trilogy. Now, I did ask about a Power of the Force card, which I would love to see. Han Solo Stormtrooper would be cool. But from what I understand from talking to my source inside Hasbro, as of right now, they're not looking at Power of the Force card because mostly the coin. The coin adds to the production, adds for the cost of the figure, and just overall they decided not to even deal with that at this time. But there are some interesting things they do have planned or, again, talking about. But let's look at the Return of the Jedi wave and what they have at least on the drawing board at this time of what figures they will make. First up, we have Luke Skywalker in Jedi Knight outfit. The other, Han Solo in his Endor trench coat. The other Endor figure could be Princess Leia. And the other figure found on Endor could be Wicket. And we have 2 more which can be seen in Jabba's palace. One would be Gamorrean Guard, and the other, Lando in his guard outfit. Now that's the 6 figures that's being talked about the most. That seems the most likely. But he said there is others that they're considering. One they would really love to see released is the Emperor, of course on the Return of the Jedi card, and a Biker Scout. And maybe even one of the aliens from Jabba's palace. They said they've gone back and forth about what alien from Jabba's palace would probably be the best for fans. Now my biggest problem with this so far is the lack of the figures that we don't have. Here we go again. Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo. We got that in Wave 1, we got it in Wave 2, and it looks like we might get them again for Wave 3. Of course, it's different figures, but it's the same character. If they keep doing this with a retro wave, it's gonna get old pretty fast. We need more aliens, more villains. I mean, who have we had so far? Stormtrooper and Vader? And we need more bounty hunters, more everything else. We don't need to keep getting Han, Luke, and Leia, Lando. Now let's look at what might be the exclusive. It seems right now high on the list is an exclusive Ewok figure that wasn't part of the Return of the Jedi line that would come free with Wicked the Ewok board game. Now there's also talk about releasing one of Jabba's dancer, mostly this character here that gets killed by the Rancor. However, how that would be packaged is really unknown and hasn't gotten that far into the planning stages yet. Now I know what you're thinking, wouldn't that be cool if she came with Rancor? Yeah, but it seems Rancor and some other things, they're on the list of you're not gonna get it. They're just too expensive to produce. On that list was the Sarlacc Pit game. What seemed like the most likely board game to come with a free figure. After all, we got a Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back game, but there were no Return of the Jedi board game unless you count the Sarlacc Pit game. But as you can see from these pictures here of the original game, it's gonna be a lot to produce, at least compared to the other board games. Jabba the Hutt, those would be pretty cool. Now I understand they might cost more to produce, especially with Jabba being it has his throne, has the Jabba figure, and a Salacious Crumb, but you could always throw it up in an exclusive. Another is Rancor that was told too expensive to produce. He told me Hasbro also has an issue of doing a box that shows figures that they don't make for this line, as they feel it might be confusing for fans of the line, or even false advertisement. Also on the not gonna make list, as of now, Leia in her slave outfit. This one doesn't seem like it would be any harder to produce than the other new figures in the line, such as Tarkin and the Halt Luke Skywalker. And there's two other figures that doesn't seem like they're ever going to get put in the retro line, but Hasbro's hoping to find a way to do it to make them cheaper. That's 3PO and R2. These are two figures they were hoping to release in the Empire Strikes Back line, but production making those cost more. Now I'm not really sure why. I'm guessing the gold plate on 3PO might be a little bit more expensive, but R2 seems like a hunk of plastic. But I don't know much about toy making or why those two figures cost more than just your average figure. Maybe you guys out there do. But from what I've heard, being that they cost a little bit more to produce, you're not likely to see these anytime soon, but Hasbro really hoping to get them out there. So maybe between now and Wave 3, they'll come up with a way to justify making these two figures. Maybe they can find a way to make them cheaper, or maybe find just some way to get them out there. Now, like I said, there was two plans at this time for Wave 3. The Return of the Jedi line, which seems the most likely way to go. You had Star Wars, you had Empire, so the next seems like Return of the Jedi. But it seems they are toying with the whole plan of releasing a mix set, which would have Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi cards mixed together. Again, no Power of the Force card, thanks to that dumb coin. So let's look at what's on their list for the mix wave. Finally, an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he'll be released on the Star Wars card. This is a figure that really needs to be on this list. The other, Princess Leia Bespin outfit on the Empire Strikes Back card. And on the Return of the Jedi card, Jedi Luke Skywalker. And the other two figures for the Return of the Jedi card would be Han Endor and Lando Guard. And there's talk of a Stormtrooper released on the Empire Strikes Back card. Well, let's look at the exclusives. And there's two here that's being talked about. One would be Luke Skywalker in the Dagobah training outfit, which I believe was rumored or talked about for the Wave 2 line. It would come exclusive with the Yoda board game. The other one floating around, and the one I really hope they do, is a Han Stormtrooper. It's unknown what this figure would come with. There's talk that it would come with a re-release of the Destroy the Death Star game, and that makes sense. And again, I have a problem with these. Luke, Han, Lando. I mean, they did add Obi-Wan, which is cool, but come on, if this is what comes out, we need more than just the main characters. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to add that they said is being talked about. Again, talked about, but they haven't really decided yet. And again, the whole Cornelius virus has put a spin and a hold on everything. Everything is wait and see. And who knows what we'll get, if we get anything at all. But there may be accessories coming. Let's take a look. At this time, only 3 accessories are being seriously considered. One would be the land speeder in the original Star Wars box. The other, the Tauntaun from the Empire Strikes Back box. And for the Return of the Jedi box, the speeder bike. Out of the accessories, you can see why these 3 are the ones being thrown around the most, because they seem the most easiest or cheapest to make. I mean, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Falcon. I mean, that's going to run them into a lot more money than they probably want to spend on this line. But that's a look at what might come for Wave 3. Now, I'll say again that this is just rumored, but my video I did last year, he was right about most of the stuff, and even stressed then that this is still in the planning stages. They're just throwing things out there of what they would like to do with Wave 3. So you might see some changes, and hopefully we will see some changes, and we'll see more characters besides Luke, Han, Leia, and Luke, and the same old things and new outfits. And I kind of like a wave with mixed figures, but I wish I could find a way to do Power of the Force cards. Even if it comes with a coin, it's worth a little extra money, because to me, Power of the Force card design is one of the best there is, and it's one of the hardest for people to have in their own collection. But when will we know something official about this line? We probably won't know nothing at all until Toy Fair 2001. But if I hear more, I'll let you know. But let me know in the comments below. Do you like this plan? Would you rather see a Return of the Jedi wave or a mixed wave with all different figures? I kind of like that mixed plan, and it's nice to see Obi-Wan's name on that list. I still don't understand why Obi-Wan was left off with Wave 1. But either way it looks like we're going to get 6 figures. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. In the comments below, let me know what you think. Does it sound like horse rubbish, or do you think this is what we'll see? And as always, please subscribe to the channel. Thumb up so I know you like my content, and we'll talk again soon.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.